Our dear, our dear Cheryl Rodgers, welcome. I'll just say a few things about Cheryl, and I know she's a lifelong student in spirituality. Through conversations, I've heard her say that even as a child, she was exploring and questioning. Perhaps Cheryl doesn't realize that she is frozen. Oh, that was just you. That Cheryl is a lifelong teacher in spirituality too. So welcome, Cheryl. I'm going to exit out of PowerPoint now and welcome you on. She's disappeared, and I can tell you I'm not doing her talk.
Can you see me now?
I'm just looking to get out a screen share here, Cheryl. And stop share. There we go. Okay.
Okay, so you can see me now?
Yes, we can. Well, I can anyway.
Okay, I'll put the gallery on. There we go. Okay, so today, first of all, happy Mother's Day. Mothering is not just from somebody who has a child. It can come from all kinds of places. It can come from aunts, it can come from uncles, it can come from teachers, it can come from anywhere. So we've all experienced that motherly love, I think, somewhere in our lives, whether it's from our mother or someone else. So happy Mother's Day. While it may be celebrated with flowers and French toast for some, for others it brings mixed emotions: gratitude, longing, joy, grief, laughter, maybe even some unresolved stuff that bubbles up when the word mother is spoken. Today, we're not here to idealize motherhood or narrow it to a role. We're here to honor the energy of the divine feminine, not as someone out there, but as a sacred power within each of us. She isn't limited by gender or family roles. This energy nurtures, protects, creates, and transforms. It is the gentle whisper and the fierce roar, and it lives in you. So I'm going to ask you to repeat after me. I honor the feminine energy of life. I honor the feminine energy of life within me, around me, and as me.
Within me, around me, and as me.
And feel that within me, around me, and as me. In Unity and New Thought, we look past appearances to the spiritual essence underneath. And divine feminine energy sometimes symbolizes as mother, but far more expansive. It's not something external or separate from us. It is part of the wholeness of who we are. It is the way love expresses. This feminine energy expresses as receptivity, intuition, compassion, creativity, wisdom, nurturance, and flow. And no, you don't need to identify as feminine to embody this. Every single one of us carries masculine and feminine principles within us. The divine feminine is not about a woman, a gender, or a personality type. It's a vibrational field of being. It is the power that listens deeply, the presence that holds without needing to fix. The part of us that says, you are enough, even in your unraveling. It's not weak. It's not passive. In fact, it takes incredible strength to stay soft in a world that hardens us. Let me tell you a story, a very real, slightly messy, totally human story. A few years ago, I hit a place where everything felt like too much. I was emotionally worn out. I'd been taking care of others, showing up with a smile, keeping it together. You know the drill. And then one night, it all just cracked open. I fell apart. I found myself crying, sobbing, ice cream in one hand and a spoon in the other, and a spiritual book in front of me. Classic breakdown. Some would call it a breakthrough moment. And then something shifted. It wasn't a booming voice or heavenly light. It was a quiet knowing from deep within that I didn't have to carry it all alone. I didn't have to do it all alone. That wasn't a message from out there. It came from the divine feminine in me. That part of me that remembered how to soften, how to let go, how to believe in something greater than my needing to control it all. That moment didn't fix everything, but it reminded me of the wisdom inside of me, the kind that doesn't need to explain itself, the kind that says you're allowed to fall apart and still be a whole person. Doesn't make you any less than. This is the divine feminine. She is the stillness that remains when the mask falls away. So how do we tap into this energy, this strength in softness, in the middle of our real messy modern lives? Here are some ways the divine feminine shows up in you when you rest instead of rushing around, when you listen instead of giving advice, when you speak truth with gentleness, when you create art, food, music, solutions, whatever brings you joy. And when you feel your way through something instead of just powering through it. You know what I mean, right? Pushing it down and not feeling it. You might notice the divine feminine when you're holding a child or when you yourself, through anxiety or doubt, when you experience that, you might hear the divine feminine in you. She shows up in your ability to feel deeply and to still choose love. She's in your boundaries, not as walls, but as sacred choices. She's in your grief, held with grace. She's in your intuition, the knowing that bypasses logic and feels true. Let's take a moment just to think about when I felt most connected to this feminine energy in myself. When did I feel most connected to this feminine energy in myself? And where am I being invited to soften, listen, or tend more gently? Just breathe that in for a moment. Now let's talk about what happens when this energy is missing or wounded. For many of us, the feminine wasn't modeled well. We may have learned that softness is weak, that emotions are inconvenient, that productivity is more valuable than presence, that receiving is selfish. Some of us didn't get the kind of nurture or encouragement we needed to rely on. And that leaves a space that some call mother wound. The good news, the divine feminine is here to heal the wound. Not by fixing it, by loving it. You don't need someone else to come and heal you. The loving, holding, nurturing presence you long for lives in you. Close your eyes for a moment and just take a deep breath into your heart. Now bring to mind the feeling of being gently held, not by anyone, but by the energy of love itself. Let this love arise from within you. Let it surround whatever feels wounded, tired, or afraid. You don't need to force anything, just be with it. You are enough. You are whole. You are held. And you are loved. Just breathe into this feeling. When you're ready, open your eyes. So this isn't just about personal feminine energy. It's about the collective as well, right? So our world is hungry for feminine energy, not as a trend or a slogan, but as a deep shift in consciousness. We've had enough of domination, division, and disconnection. What we need now is integration, inclusion, and inner listening. Think of the people who are bringing energy into the world, the activist who speaks truth but never forgets compassion, the friend who brings soup and silence when you're grieving, the leader who makes space for every voice at the table, the parent who lets the child cry without trying to fix it, the person who says, I see you just as you are. Every time you choose to respond instead of reacting, every time you listen for truth instead of just speaking it, you are embodying that sacred energy. So today we bless all expressions of the sacred feminine, women, men, non-binary beings who embody compassion and wisdom, elders and young ones, artists and organizers, healers and truth tellers, the soft and the strong, the fierce and the malleable, and those still learning to trust their own voice. And when we say non-binary beings, I neglected to put in here, but I want to include LGBTQ plus, two-spirited people as well. Let's take a moment of stillness again, just to acknowledge and bless this divine feminine presence within and among us. As we close, I invite you to take these questions with you into your week. Where in my life is the feminine energy being called forth right now? What would soften look like in this situation? How can I honor the sacred power of nurturance, actively caring for myself and others, intuition, trusting my instincts, and grace, interacting with others with patience and compassion? Take that into your week. This is my prayer for you. May you know yourself as the vessel and the voice. May you trust the wisdom that doesn't shout, but always knows. May you carry the divine feminine into your days through presence, peace, and power. May this day be a reminder that you carry everything you seek already inside of you. Let her rise. Let her lead. Namaste.